Hi everyone, my name's Gill and welcome to Bramble Ramble. I started a YouTube channel with my husband in October 2023 about our Bramble cottage renovation. A couple of years ago, my husband Rich and I decided we were getting a bit old, and we've been living in Austria for many years, and we were really pulled to coming back to the United Kingdom. I missed it very much. I missed my daughter. I missed my mum. Richard's parents were here. They were elderly, and we wanted to try and come back. We realised the only way we could get back was to buy a rundown property. And fate happened that a neighbour of my mum's, one of his brother's property went up for sale, and it hadn't been touched for 50 years at least, and we actually found something we could afford. Barely. We scraped money together, really excited, and we bought this cottage, and things were wonderful. Looking up, all excited. Husband had to go and work in America for a year. We thought, wow, our life is amazing, we're so lucky, let's have an adventure, we're feeling young again. Just a couple of months before we were due to come back to the UK, Rich had a little bit of a cough, and he went to a doctor who luckily decided to give him an x-ray, and 2 days later we were in hospital in Texas, and he was told he had 3, maybe 6 months to live. That was true devastation, and from that moment our world turned completely upside down, and to be honest, has never been the same since. We were, after another couple of months of biopsies for him, a lot of procedures, the doctors in Texas said, we can't find anything. He has a massive mass between his heart and his lungs that was too dangerous for them to operate on. So the only thing that they could recommend was for us to go to the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota. So that was one car trip later, a couple of days drive, and we ended up in Rochester, and within 3 days Rich was in for a huge biopsy, which was terrifying. The care was absolutely wonderful, but yeah, life's suddenly very fragile, and Richard recovered well, so I drove him back to Texas just 5 days after this big operation. So we took 3 days to drive back. The day after we returned, we were told that he would have an operation. So far they'd found nothing, that they'd removed this mass in March as much as they could, and we would go from there. We returned back to Texas, as I say, and the next day we were told we needed to turn around, and it was cancer. So one day in Texas, car packed up with all our belongings, and we were back up to Rochester. So we started this procedure of being bombarded with facts and figures, and he was told he had quite a rare form of cancer, Hodgkin's lymphoma, which we soon realised we were extremely grateful for, because he had a good prognosis, but he would have to have 6 months of really intensive chemotherapy, which was challenging to say the least. He really went through it, but we're really positive people, and although Bramble Cottage gave us things to look forward to, it was incredibly daunting and scary, and we soon realised that Richard was not going to be the same person at the end of it as he was at the beginning. So anyway, October last year, we returned to the UK, picked up our keys for Bramble, and started our Bramble Cottage Renovation UK on YouTube. And people got to know us from there. They got to see 2 people that had done some basic DIY, but had no idea what it was to take on a Victorian cottage, and who were struggling through everything we've been through. And Rich was struggling to recover and is still struggling to recover. The chemotherapy has completely changed him, has completely taken away his strength. He suffers from severe fatigue. He suffers dreadfully from something called neuropathy, which affects his hands and his feet. He has he's unable to hold pens properly, to write, he falls over a lot. So our life's been challenging, but we've had our fair share of fun and laughter, and we realised that doing our YouTube channel has been just a wonderful thing for us. When Rich was diagnosed with the cancer, up until that point, we'd been incredibly private people, and we actually went through this on our own because we were thousands of miles away from anybody. So it was something we were used to doing on our own, and we liked to portray ourselves as positive and to get on with it. But when we started this channel, we realised as well it didn't matter anymore, and actually nothing was that important as what we've been through. And if we could help people, or if we could bring a bit of joy and laughter to people, what a good thing to do. So one thing I quickly became known for at Bramble was rambling. As you can tell, I ramble on and on and on about all different things because life has been a complete and utter roller coaster. We've travelled around. We've been very fortunate and been able to live in America and spent nearly 20 years in Austria, which has brought many ups and some downs. And I chose to give up Korea to raise 3 kids, which I loved, but then suddenly I found myself completely adrift, thinking, where do I go from here? When we started the YouTube channel, I was absolutely fine because I can talk a lot, but I also didn't know anything about technology. I didn't know anything about renovation. I didn't know how people were going to be. I knew I wasn't young, attractive. I knew there was nothing I could offer except from me, genuine me. And I'm forever grateful that people seem to be able to relate to Rich and I and our ups and downs and our have a go attitude. And so I then started to explore it, having my own channel and talking about different things, talking about things in life, how we were coping, because the renovation is a huge part of our lives. We're very, very lucky. We're able to rent a really nice place as we can do it, but the timeline's running down for that. We've got to get in Bramble. So, we are under pressure, and under pressure because Rich needs certain things, to help with his recovery, to be able to come and rest at the end of the day. So we're very, very fortunate. I will forever say that, as will Rich, but it's brought us some challenges. And the last couple of days, Rich has really suffered dreadfully from fatigue, and it's completely and utterly wiped him out. Whereas when he gets up in the morning, he's absolutely done, and everything he does in the day is an effort. He's having difficulty just doing his normal walking. He's having difficulty working. He's still working. And yesterday, for the first time ever, those of you that have watched our videos will realise Rich is a worker and he will always push himself. And for the first time ever, he said, I need to retire. And I looked at him, and all I want is my husband and a home. I don't need anything major. I just need us to be together and to be happy. The honesty, the reality of that is we have kids that are far and wide, and so obviously we need to have enough money to maybe once a year to be able to get to America to see our son. I don't know where our other son's going to be. He's talking about maybe going to Asia, who knows. But in between times, we could live a simple life, but you do need money. And I thought I have to try and do something to help Rich. I have to try and make this happen. And I was trawling through all these videos of making it on YouTube and getting monetized on YouTube. And I'm just bamboozled. And we're doing really well with some subscribers. And I thought, can I do this? Can I actually do something and take some of the burden off Rich? What can I achieve? Because I have not worked for a few years since we went back to America, and now I'm still at that stage where I want to be with Rich all the time, which is kind of intense, I know, and he can and I can wind each other up, but I don't want to leave. I'm trying to think about a way that I could give us some income coming in. So I've decided to challenge myself. One of the things on our other channel is, showing this renovation and showing us as how we are, and people seem to be able to relate to that. I have no real skills I can offer. I can offer my wisdom, what I have. I can offer our ups and downs of the day. I can also set myself a challenge, and I'm happy to do that, and to say, can I do this? Can I take something that all the youngsters seem to have the hold of? Can I do this? Is there life for somebody that's gone 50? That I am not into hair and makeup particularly. I like to try and keep fit. I've tried, but I'm not glamorous. I'm not those things. But I've got loads of things that I've learned, and loads of things that I feel that could be related to a lot of people. And I also think there's many people like me that have watched all these people making it on YouTube and thinking, how do they do that? And I'm so confused when I hear analytics and all these hashtag things. So I thought, give yourself a challenge. See if you could do this for it. See if we can make this. Can we do something with this? Can we try? So I'm going to try my Bramble Ramble channel, and I'm going to see step by step of the way whether we can get any subscribers, whether people are interested in the content, what they want from the content. Are they interested on, where you go from 50, how you rebuild your life, how you think about your life if your income's gone and you've gone into a retirement because you want to be together, but you need more. So I really hope that this could be something. And as I say, I'm always happy to talk for ages. So I hope that you will support me with this, and I can just make some new friends out there. With our Bramble cottage renovation, they're called the Bramblers. So maybe I can have my own little group of Bramble Ramblers that we can join on, and maybe end up having some live conversations. And I love meeting people from wherever you are in the world. Rich and I have always loved to travel, and we find people and their lives so interesting, and you learn so much from it. So let's hope this is a new venture for me. Who knows? And the other one thing is, I always love a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. Slightly partial to biscuits. Rich is on a slightly different life journey at the moment. We shall see. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm going to post twice a week to try and give you updates and maybe talk about a different topic, anything that people want to know or to learn, or I just take the initiative and think what's on my head that day when I wake up. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and please stay with me. Please maybe subscribe, and let's see if this 50-something-year-old has anything to offer the world. But thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. Take care. Bye.